Mucho gusto. Mucho gusto.
We're connected.
Good evening and welcome to Too Soon to Tell Tuesday. It's back. What's up, everybody? I see you, Tony Gotts, Anthony Crouch, Frank Meadows Jr., Micro Wolf, Smoking Swamp Outdoors, Catskill NY Prepper. What's good, sister? Johnny Preps in the house. Mr. Zero. How's everybody doing tonight? Patty S. Hello, hello, hello. Moldy Soldier in the house. What's good? What's good, everybody? Coffee first, then speak. Thank you. Yes, reminder to everybody. Put it into all chat or all messages. Prepared Irishman, what's good? Prepared Irishman heard comms and came running. See you. Jay Creature. I'm busy but listening. Crack bad jokes for me. I'm only listening, not reading. You got it, Jay Creature. You got it. We got it all done here for you. Yes, smash that like button, guys. If you're here, if you're hanging out, smash the like button. Really appreciate it. Tonight is all about the comms, Livingston man. All about the comms. It's a huge question in the Facebook group. On a regular basis, folks are asking, what's the comms plan? What is the plan? What are we doing? How are we communicating? Who are we talking to? When are we supposed to talk? What are we doing? It has to happen. It has to happen. Sooner or later, you've got to put a plan together, right? And there's enough people there. There's enough folks in the group who are licensed ham operators. I'm looking at all of them for inspiration on how to do this. And they're going to be the gears that get this done. Because this is out of my league. I know when I am outmatched and something's beyond my capabilities, I look to the professionals. So the folks in the group who are comms folks, and by comms, I'm talking about, radios, right? This is a little FRS radio, right? Walkie-talkie type
family radio service.
Yep. This is another one of the same things, a little smaller. And they all work about the same. Line of sight. Line of sight is all you really get out of these small radios. And that goes for your Baofangs as well, right? These things are basically line of sight. Tony Gotts, that's a great point. All comms are listenable to. Folks can listen into your conversations, especially when you're broadcasting over a radio like this.
Vulnerable, whatever you want to call it, open to there's other people listening.
Yeah. So you don't necessarily want to give out all the information over this. The folks that you're going to be talking to should know the lingo that you're speaking. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. What do you got there?
What?
Oh, you got fancy stuff, huh? Yeah, go ahead. Send it.
So we can see what you guys say. We can make you see what we see.
Yeah, but it doesn't do the emojis, I guess. So I don't know.
Wow, look at that weird.
Mr. Zero's advice, that is fantastic advice. You keep it brief and watch your information security. You do not want to say, hey, I'm at this address. I'll be here from this time to this time. Why don't you guys stop on by and say hello?
And bring all that cool stuff,
Yeah. No, you don't do that. You gotta have coded messages almost. Now we're talking hypothetical after a grid collapse. That's the only time that we're really going to be using these things. Many different antennas for this little radio, Livingston man.
Tied up on a slinky throat.
The one thing that I do know about radios that I've learned from folks like the Prepared Irishman, we got to get beyond the solo cups and string, bro. We got to. It's time. It's time for folks to knuckle down and learn the radios, get licensed, learn the radios. And I want to try and help facilitate that. We have enough experienced people in the group that we should be able to get the right amount of operators together to be able to, at some point, maybe even administer the ham radio exams, Livingston man. They're fantastic. They're great tools. And everybody, nobody wants to invest the time, the effort, and the energy,
the money
into learning these things. It's not a lot of money, Livingston. It's like $30 to go take the test. And you do have to buy a book. So there's maybe another $30 in there. But maybe you could download the digital copy a little cheaper, but you're gonna need to invest some money in these things to make them work right. Eric M1RV, how are you, brother?
These boil into the whole question of how do you intend to communicate with, like, I don't know, anyone outside of your
Yeah, absolutely.
immediate surrounding people in the event of the lack of power or the network to pull off cell phone and snap.
Yeah.
Wired networks and so forth.
Yeah, we're looking
radios
for...
point to point. The way these kind of work is the only way that that's going to.
Absolutely.
Short of
Absolutely.
smoke.
KD, welcome.
We've been stuck on this topic for a while because, again, an even broader sense, it turns into like you need to know all kinds of security. You need to know passwords. You need got to be like James
some
Bond,
of these things. Absolutely.
Speaking in code, if you will. To keep your communications secret, or if not secret, because you have to broadcast them.
Yeah.
Keep them very vague, where like a person that doesn't know what they're hearing.
Yeah. When I key this thing up and I say, Livingston, man, Heineken, and you know that Heineken means that I'm going to my mom's house. He'll know to meet me at my mom's house, but everybody else is just gonna think he's bringing me some Heineken.
Yeah, or something is happening, but that's the best you got. It's you have to work these things out ahead of time before you have.
Could
to
you
do
pin
this.
that comment right there from
Which one?
The Prepared Irishman? Some ham radio clubs give free classes on licensing. Reach out to these guys. Yeah. Yeah, it's huge. Brian Smith says you could build yourself a poor man's repeater as well. Absolutely, man. You can. There's a way to tie two of these things together and turn it into a repeater. But there's a lot of etiquette that goes into these things, and a licensed ham station can be inspected by the FCC unannounced 24/7, 365. Says James Carroll. That's important to know. They don't want you putting out too much power or
it turns into
taking
a
over
radio
frequency.
station,
Yeah. That's really what they're kind of against. And there's a lot of etiquette to radios.
Next thing you know, you're broadcasting some revolutionary
right
message.
now, being that I don't know all the lingo, all of the ins and outs of ham radios, if I went on and I started broadcasting, those guys would lose their shit, Livingston, man. They would lose their shit on me. But even there's a right way to do it. There's a wrong way to do it. This is considered like a gentleman's radio.
What you're going to want to do is learn how to use it, and then all that gentleman nonsense is going to be out the window whenever your aardvark in the apocalypse is out there yammering on the thing.
Yeah,
I wouldn't worry too much about the etiquette and after the fact, at any rate. But yeah, if what's required of you is a license, I guess
so. The
Okay.
reason I would say to go and get a license now is so that you learn the inner workings of this radio
without getting messed with. Like you can just
absolutely, and then you can practice now while things are good, and see what your range is, who you can communicate with. And that's something that we're going to try and do in the group, Livingston, man.
And just like online gaming, you can't play multiplayer if you and all your friends don't have the same game and the same system.
That's right.
You your mag, I think you people call it.
Sure.
You need to get on board with how exactly you intend to do this and take it kind of seriously. Or else all these cool radios and these little punch codes and everything else are going to mean, oh, you're screaming Heineken over the radio and everybody's like, what is he talking about?
But the ones who
I heard you, Dad.
know.
Yeah, I got the Heineken.
Catskill Prepper says, Mike, when is the meetup? We don't have anything scheduled yet, Catskill. Nothing yet. But
if we did, I ain't
But
going.
soon.
Bunch of preppers show up at them. Weirdos.
Jay Creature says he just had a flashback during the Gulf War '01. The ham dudes would somehow relay radio to phone calls stateside. If you want to hear your girlfriend cry, saying over on a static line. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. There's a lot that you can do with these radios if you have the licensing and the capabilities now. You can use them in cooperation with your phone and send text
seen
messages.
These big arrays and stuff.
Computers. Some of them don't have to be so big, Livingston.
Sounds vulnerable
you just
to a drone
need.
strike to me.
Well, all infrastructure is vulnerable to something like that.
I've seen him with the little mini harp array he built. Like I was like, they're gonna nuke the shit out that thing first.
James Carroll says, I don't want any alphabet agencies in my house. I totally get it. Perhaps the way to go is more of a mobile antenna for someone like yourself, where you don't really have a base station in a home with large radio equipment and a big antenna outside your house. Perhaps your setup is more of I believe they're called linear antennas. You run them along the ground. They can do the same kind of work that some of the big tall ones do with the right radios. So you have to get you got to learn. You got to learn. You got to go to school for these things, man. They're no joke. They're no joke. Jay Creature says, you better have real landmarks. Nothing worse than hearing I'm near a tree, near a rock.
I hate radio.
Yeah, well, that's also having...
There's also the guy who thinks it's Call of Duty and never shuts the hell up in the headset.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Right. The one guy who doesn't know he has PTT turned off, he's just breathing.
Yeah.
And for some reason, someone is in a household full of Hispanic children that are screaming and hollering. Like, what are we even listening to? Like,
oh, it's so true. It's so true. But again, Jay Creature, to your point, your folks who you want to be listening to you need to know what to be listening for. Prepared Irishman says, I've never heard of the FCC coming to inspect your equipment except if you're doing something totally outrageous. See? I mean, Johnny Prep says, build a stealth antenna. Exactly.
What happens when people get on the ham radio, like they get on Facebook and just start fighting and arguing with people? You know what I'm saying? We have a new member, everybody.
Oh, Catskill Prepper, welcome to the membership club. You join the likes of the Prepared Irishman and a few other folks here on the channel. I don't know exactly. It doesn't tell me how many members are here, but thank you so much. We really appreciate it, sister.
Now, I have a handful of those little GMRS radios. Like they're pretty good. They claim over water and line of sight and whatever.
Like 20, 25, 35 miles, right?
Good enough. But whatever. What I intend to do is if there's a big issue going on is just put that thing on scan and just listen to all these other aardvarks that are broadcasting their coordinates and all the cool food and stuff that they got. So stay up on things so I know what's going on.
Oh my goodness. What's going on? Hunter says, I had a ham sandwich earlier today. These are a little, I'm telling you what, I don't know if there's anything even digestible on this. Maybe the buttons.
Let's see if we can get somebody to
rubberize. Oh, you want to try it?
But it's the call-in show now.
Ooh. Let's just scan and see what
happens.
Prefer
the British Bluetooth woman.
Yeah, let's do this. Prepared Irishman is probably freaking out right now. I'm probably breaking like a whole lot of laws. You know when they say that you might need glasses when you can't see things, Livingston? I'm at that phase right now. One of these buttons says scan on it. Now I'm afraid to hit them because everybody's got me nervous that the FCC's going to come inspect this repeater station or something. Hang on, I gotta get up here. I can't even see it. Where is it?
You old as fuck.
I can't see jack.
That thing's not backlit.
No. No. It's a Baofeng radio.
Get the new one. How long you had the thing? 25 years? Everything's backlit.
No.
It doesn't have a backlit display. This is unacceptable. Look, I don't even know how to use it. See? Case in point, ladies and gentlemen. You got to learn how to use your stuff, man. Look at big emergency. Mike, we need you to...
Boom! Got him! See that? I just needed a little light. If I had a flashlight.
You got who? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We got interference already.
It's supposed to be ultra low latency. I wonder how low is the latency?
I really don't know. This is wild.
It's like 10 seconds.
It's still scanning.
Wow.
It's going through all the frequencies it's capable of. You just do that. Good golly, Livingston, man. This radio noise is terrible. Oh, gotta have one. Mr. Zero says go with a UV9S. Good to know. I'll definitely look into it. We got all kinds of static, but no talkie. William K's, what's good, brother? We're talking comms tonight. We got the radio on. We're seeing what we hear. Just, putting our ears out. We're not licensed to broadcast or anything, so all we can do is listen. they're listening.
Maybe you guys know in the comments here, is there like a product like similar to this, like that can scan like all kinds of different frequencies? Like you could pick up FRS, GMRS, ham, whatever the bell things you short.
Well, this this
sort of
radio
brick you could carry.
This is it. This is it. This is the all-in-one brick. This is UHF, VHF. You can just type in the GMRS or the FRS frequencies, and listen in on all of them.
Am I wrong in assuming like you almost need like some kind of like channel, like a TV guide, if you will?
Yeah.
For these things,
like a repeater book. See, they be broadcasting. This is a small 5-watt radio. It does not have a lot of power. Now, with the right antenna, you don't need a lot of wattage to reach very, very, very far. These things are pretty cool. Now, they are very entry level, and you got to remember these are cheap Chinese radios, guys. Cheap Chinese radios.
It sounds like one.
Well, no, that's just what's coming through it once you actually
Does it change colors sometimes?
That's bringing in a frequency.
The purple.
And then it's just scanning.
Oh, okay.
Now it actually has something. It turns blue. I don't know if you guys can see that.
It's just a bunch of sea captains.
It actually changes colors a little bit.
So it is backlit. You just didn't know how to do it, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I guess you got to hit buttons. I was too afraid to hit buttons, Livingston, man.
No, I'm afraid to hit the buttons.
Catskill Prepper, yeah. With your elevation, you should be able to send and receive really, really well. He says 146612. Let's see. We'll stop scanning.
He's gonna upload the frequency coordinates.
Let's do it.
Drone strike inbound.
Yeah, here it comes.
Let's get it
This
done.
is how they get you.
Thanks,
462.
Says he's monitoring.
There you go. I can't broadcast, but
Why not?
yeah, I don't have a license, so all I can do is listen on that frequency. Right? You're not licensed. You're not licensed. We don't. It's like it's like 10 grand.
Oh, you're out there.
You don't
Accidentally key the mic.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
The FCC
FRS 3, I believe. Yeah.
Get 'em.
Yeah. There's
Take them down. They got a radio in there.
Well, it's too.
You think this is
too,
Nazi
too
Germany?
high a wattage.
They're gonna come in and smash it with truncheons.
Oh yeah. Totally. Imagine what they'll do when the shit hit the fan, Livingston.
They'll leave with a stern warning.
Jay Creature says it. Black helicopters.
I hear one now.
Yeah, you can hear them over the radio. They're coming.
Coordinates identified.
Radios. Get a radio. Learn how to use it.
Don't use it without a license. He can own it, he just can't use it.
Yeah.
Imagine if guns were
Hunter says, I'll just find out what's going on through YouTube. That's
sound plan. Now, see, here's a guy that gets it. All right.
Oh man. So there's a lot to learn. I am going to lean on the folks who know, because I don't know. I don't know about the networks. I don't know about repeaters. I don't know who can reach who, how far their reach is, who we can get together, how we can, make our own club if we have to, and then be able to give the exams. I think we have enough of the proper licensees to get together and make this happen. So working on it. I'm working on it. I got my feelers out to the right people. So hopefully it's something that we can pull together here in the next couple of weeks or months, and get operational, man. You guys see the news. Things don't look so good, Livingston, man. The rich elite are building bunkers, like bunkers, bro, like serious bunkers. These guys are putting millions, if not billions, into bunkers. People like Rick Ross, the rapper, he's building a bunker.
They'll be on.
They're all building bunkers
for sale in 5 years.
Well, yeah, after everybody else is dead.
What are they gonna do?
Maybe they're in the know. I don't know.
Maybe I'll just shove a sack of cement in their area and take. Oops.
That
sucks.
Hunter, and that's not entirely true. This radio cost you about $30, bro. $30. So, this definitely isn't going to get me a firearm. 35 bucks, I might be able to get a box of ammo, but I don't know. With the background checks now here in New Yorkistan, there's a little extra added in there. And a gym membership, maybe for a month. Boy, then Planet Fitness is gonna kick me out. Must be high end for 30. It's cheap Chinese radio, bro. It's as cheap as they get. I have one for you.
He goes to the gym for like 90 days now. He's on that shit.
Joe DeFazo says, I'd be interested in a ham class to get a license. Try the online stuff during COVID. Very dry stuff to read. It is. I think, a real classroom where folks can actually teach you, show you how it works. To read this stuff in a book for especially folks like me, man. I'm like an osmosis guy. I don't always absorb information well through the page. I'm more of a see it and do it kind of guy. So it would be very beneficial to folks like me to actually have more of a hands-on class where folks can learn.
It's how that's got to work. You can read the manual all you want, but that doesn't really.
If you don't understand the manual.
And even the whatever manual or code book you use to get your license and stuff like that, if you just don't have that eureka moment where you understand what you're doing, that's where you need somebody to show you like what you're doing.
Jay Creature, I think the $35 is more like a high point. Yeah.
I only buy guns out of the backs of trunks at Walmart, dude.
Oh, good Lord.
Like, seedier the better for me. And then I just throw them off random bridges just to keep law enforcement guessing.
Oh, good Lord. Gotta have the comms, man. Gotta have the comms. The rich folks are going underground. I got proof. I got proof. I got proof. See? Bible prophecy is coming true. And the billionaires are building huge underground bunkers, Livingston, man. This story comes to us from the Daily Star. And the richest men on earth are buying doomsday bunkers.
He's now reportedly building a luxury ranch incorporating a 5,000 square foot underground bunker complete with its own energy and food supplies.
It's on 1,600 acres, guys. So you bet your sweet bippy this thing is in the middle of it, like under something.
He's particularly worried that he's going to think he's going to survive this. The hubris. There's not much information in this article.
It's crazy.
She claims that Zuckerberg's bunker is just the latest of around 15 doomsday bunkers being built by billionaires around the globe.
Yeah.
Of course, there he is, the arch nemesis of freedom.
You know what's happening.
Jeff Bezos himself. He's I don't know, look at this guy. He looks like the type.
That's Larry Ilson.
Man, he's got one.
Yep.
Revelation said that they would.
Yeah, they're spending crazy money.
Revelation 6:15 says, the kings of the earth, the princes, the generals, the rich, the mighty, and every slave and every free man. Okay, so all of us.
Yeah.
Then,
there it is.
hid in caves and among the rocks of the mountains. They called to the mountains, and the rocks fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb.
Oh, there it is.
Well, it's not a sign yet. Okay, so the rich people are building, but per Revelation, we all get one. Every slave and every free man, the mighty.
Well, what we get is the caves and the rocks. They have the bunkers and the bins.
Maybe we get to work in their bunker like resort staff. I
mean, Irishman, I'm not showing any of your bunker, bro. You're safe.
Bezos be running it like Amazon anyway. Like he's gonna be like, you can pee when you have a bottle to do so in.
Keep digging. But that it's even more extreme than that, Livingston, man. That's not. These folks are like building moats of fire and things around their bunker. They are serious about protecting these things. They are not joking around whatsoever.
I mean, you guys, look at it.
Fiery moats and water cannons. I'm saying, right? I've read the stories of the folks who have hired ex-Navy SEALs to escort them to their bunkers when SHTF These folks get paid so handsomely now that when SHTF, they are encouraged to show up for a bigger bonus then. But I mean,
It's got real.
is it real though? Is it real?
Ron Hubbard, who's totally not that Ron Hubbard.
Oh,
It got really busy, and it seems like the phone hasn't stopped ringing. World War
oh, that's
III.
Mr. Atlas Survival
Seems like
Shelters
it's coming.
himself. Yeah.
He notes that the news about Zuckerberg's bunker caused a buying frenzy. He's currently constructing a $7.5 million bunker for a client in Oklahoma that is in the design phase.
Yeah, it's faith, hope, and charity. I'm saying
This is honestly what this really is a real estate fad. As useful as that you may or may not find that to be.
You think so? You think it's the
We're making a big stink.
the
They build
super rich building bunkers just as a status symbol? Because
like it's like having a yacht because they have nothing else to spend their freaking money on.
I guess
anymore.
I guess if you already have the yacht and then, the islands to go to, see,
They'll
Hunter
build
says
these
it too.
things, they'll never
It's
go there.
it's a trend to
Exactly.
have a bunker.
That's right. It's some status.
Well,
It's a Lamborghini. It's the million.
Is it
square
is it
foot
the
mansion.
is it the new Rolex? Is the bunker the new Rolex?
It is.
What's old is new again. Yeah, you got it, Mr. Zero. You got it. But yeah, these people are hiring, tier 1 former operators to escort them to their locations. Which I don't know, man. Maybe we should just buy a big ass armored car and get a real good tack team together and just sell extraction from NYC to these folks. Have a meeting location.
I bet you the market exists.
We'll take you upstate and deliver you to your compound. I don't know. What would that cost? 175 thou a head.
Yeah, so that's pretty.
Yeah,
reasonable.
175,000.
To do that legitimate, you need all kinds of permits. You're bordering on a private military company at that point. They call that.
Right.
It's okay for Blackwater and Zy or whatever their name
Well,
is.
it's okay for whoever works for the federal government,
Right.
but it's not okay for average.
In America, they just changed their name a lot. But it's Wagner Group stuff. These people exist in America, but they have all these rules and licenses and permits and red tape and stuff. You gotta go through.
Good God!
To do
In
this.
New York, it'd be virtually impossible. You'd have to come from like Maine.
I'm not going to call these people
You know?
proficient, but I'm going to call them professionals in that they get paid to do it.
Yeah. Hunter says, "Who the hell wants to live underground? Seriously, if it's that bad, good night, Irene."
Well, these
so
luxury bunkers going to make you forget you're underground. This is vault stuff from Fallout. Anybody? The vault experiments, there were some of them that were just supposed to work right and save people from the apocalypse. Then the other ones, there was always some twisted experiment behind it. They'd trap people in there and subject them to this.
Right.
In the lore, most vaults didn't survive it. Everybody died. There was some catastrophe and it didn't work out. There was like a handful of them where it worked out. If we're going to go that route, that's what you're going to see. Like Elon Musk got, like, one of them did it right. The rest of them, like, I don't know, somebody poured sand in the thing and they all died. These billionaires are the same people that tried to get in a plastic can and fucking go see the Titanic. So I'm not too worried about what ideas they have sometimes. Elon and Bezos, the big bad wolves, though. They got the huge money. They can do whatever. They're probably doing it right. The worst kind of billionaires are the ones you've never heard of. Just quietly doing James Bond villain shit. And nobody knows.
My theory on the Hunter's comment with living underground, I think it would have to be
Vault Tech's slogan was a better future underground.
Well, hopefully it's temporary. If there's some
It was
sort of
supposed to be after 25 years they would emerge from the fucking soil like ants, which is
like the Hopi.
The Hopi and the
Hopi.
Navajo. That's their
came
creation
out of the
story.
ground.
Maybe that's what happened last time, bro.
It's as long as it's temporary, I wouldn't mind having to stay in a bunker to survive temporarily.
Well, yeah, you come out to a blinding light, Hunter. There's radiation, a bunch of like horrors beyond comprehension.
Well, it could be, or you
beautiful.
could be far enough away from it that everything looks and seems actually pretty normal, other than a thick coat of dust and some of the small wildlife glow in the dark. If the right length of time, you could get out there and live safely. Things live in the Chernobyl disaster zone. Some things are thriving there, although they're all radiated and maybe a little weird looking, but it's happening. It's happening. Life finds a way, Livingston.
30 people go down. 15 couples came up. In Fallout, there was 2 vaults. One had 999 women and 1 man.
Right.
And its counterpart had 999 men and 1 woman.
Whoa.
And the one that had 1 woman, she made them like worship her. She was like a queen. But
that's how it's done, ladies.
But the one where there was 1 man, they made him into like this pet. They totally mistreated him.
Good golly.
All kinds of weird stuff happens when you go start thinking you're just gonna go live in a hole in the ground.
Well, I'm not.
A
I'm
luxury
not about
bunker is one thing. Otherwise,
that's
some
something.
like fallout shelter, like a primitive one, like
Yeah.
we have built on your house. You're talking about living in like a cement closet.
Oh, it'd be terrible. It would be absolutely horrible, guys. Absolutely horrible.
The first time you take a number 2, you're gonna remember what it's all about. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's gonna remember what it's all about.
Eventually, you become
y'all are
nose blind
sharing
to it,
that space.
and you don't even know that you smell like that. And you emerge from the depths, like into the crumbling waste, stinking like shit. Anyone left is judging.
So that really brings about the point that it's something that you really have to think through. You really got to think these things through. You have to know. You have to have a plan for everything, and then redundancy plans for when those plans fail, because it's not always going to work out the way we plan it to, right? Things are going to happen.
That's why I don't make plans.
Yeah. Merkel says, I heard Livingston Man was going to pole dance at the end. As soon as we opened the hatch, she's pole dancing all the way up it.
I'll see what's going on up there, you guys.
The spider hole people are almost as funny as the bug out bag people.
Yeah, I'm literally going to live in a hole. Gonna live like a woodchuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're better off building yourself like a beaver lodge. Those things are impervious, man.
Hell yeah. Well, where the hell do we segue to now? Man, it's too soon to tell what we're even going to drag this down into.
Well, tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
Well, yeah, that's why we're here today. If you have a Valentine,
I'm happy for you. Or
you guys better
I'm
go.
Sorry that happened.
You better take care of it, man. Those are your people. Show them some love.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, it's important.
It's the thought that counts. You don't need to buy people things.
No, just write something on a piece of paper that says "I love you" and give it to them. Show them the love.
People like to be thought of, like, and what I love about all you people in this vein here is, for whatever reason, whenever any of you like sees something remotely spam related, you think of me.
It's true,
and I'm eternally grateful for that. I don't know. I guess people, whatever it is that makes people do it, it's cool.
Yeah. The funny thing is, people think spam an angry prepper too, and he absolutely hates the shit. So I don't know. Well, I think they pick on him because he hates it, and they kind of throw it at you because you like it, but they throw it just as much at him. Hunter, and we were thinking about coming to your house for dinner tomorrow. You were going to make us some steaks on the grill.
Are you going to wear the maid outfit again?
Catskill Prepper, no stream tomorrow. It's Valentine's Day. Spend it with somebody you love. You don't need to be spending it with us.
125 looks like Ricky from the Trailer Park Boys. Not Ricky, the other one, Randy. But like Italian. So imagine if Randy was on The Sopranos.
Hunter, I could never do that to your wife. No, I couldn't do that to your wife. It's Valentine's Day. Maybe definitely another night though. Yeah, we're gonna do this stream live from 125 back deck. Oh, LKF Designs is having spam tomorrow. Do it. How are you cooking it? That's the biggest question.
This one guy that comes to the event once, and the guy. It's like a barbecue stand, but he smoked
Kenny.
He smoked a spam. He smoked it for a good long time.
Oh yeah.
He scored it and all this. He said it was the best thing ever. Spam is like ramen noodles. You're not supposed to just crack it open and eat it. Yes, you can, but
yeah.
if you just put in a little bit of effort,
Yeah, it's not so bad.
It's not so bad. Like, yeah, anybody that has a problem with spam, it's probably because it wasn't served the way they would really like it.
Scott, I agree. The maple spam is really good. The turkey spam that we made, the SHTF Thanksgiving,
Turkey spam
that was actually pretty good. It was pretty good.
I would actually add more of that to my pile. I have
for sure.
It was good, and it's clean, if that's the word. There's like no fat.
Spam Sammys. Do it.
I made a spam sandwich with grilled cheese, like with spam on it. And oh my goodness. And plus it was filling.
I think that the thinner that you slice that stuff and the harder you fry it, the better it is.
Yeah, you got to get a crisp on it.
Yeah, almost like bacon, man. Spam is like a stroke and heart attack racing towards your white trash destiny.
Only one who knows would say that.
It's pork shoulder, Catskill. It's pork shoulder.
Yeah, it's not what you think it is. Originally, what it was is nobody bought pork shoulder at the butcher, so they would always have this overstock of pork shoulder. So they decided to grind it up, dump some salt in it, can it. It's actually cooked in the can and sealed second. It's canned.
Oh man, Hunter's killing it tonight. It's pork shoulder, man. That's all it is. Pork shoulder, salt, and then they bind it all together, right? Some gelatin, right? Ronnie Braun, what's good, brother? Welcome to Too Soon to Tell Tuesday.
It's not very much different from one of them little like canned hams you get. It's almost like a football.
Like a can. But yeah, if you're gonna do the spam, man, super thin. Question for everybody in the chat: Did you guys manage to catch the Bug Out Battles video that we put out? I think it's pretty awesome. Livingston Man thinks the video's too long. I would like to know from folks in the chat if it's too long. Is it too long of a video? I mean, we tried to get really in depth with these things, Livingston Man, and there's a lot of video there.
It was what we were up against was the complete lack of cooperation from the environment. Yes, we could have done common sense things like
block the wind,
some kind of windbreak, which would have saved the test somewhat. We decided not to, just to act like boneheads and see if
do it wrong.
When we got on location and realized the conditions, it turned into,
can it even do it?
Can any of them even do it, rather than an actual test and breakdown? We tried to work with what we had. The wood-fired one at the end was a really cool addition because it seemed to worked off of everything that was slowing down the other ones.
Yeah. And I think the best thing about the Rescue says, I don't think the Coleman got a fair shake. It was standing above the edge of the pit, and the jet fuel one got to hide inside the pit. Rescue, I agree with you.
Now they make stubby canisters for the propane. We just didn't have one.
Yeah. So it's real world conditions, very realistic. Appreciate it, Prepared Irishman. The wood one, Johnny Preps, I agree. I've heard that from a couple people too. We would have had a better chance if we had some lids on the pots to hold some of that heat in. I think that's absolutely great advice, bro. Great advice.
Again, we threw aside all common sense. We know how to. Believe it or not,
I could have stood in front of that thing and watched it boil water much faster. But I think
we decided to see what would happen at that point. Like I said, it became, can any of them even do it in this kind of wind? And one of them did unequivocally. Yeah,
absolutely.
And absolutely. I don't want to give too many spoiler alerts because I'm not going to say which one did it if you ain't seen the video. But the wood stove would have done it and actually only got stronger, but time ran out.
Yeah. We gave it Prepared Irishman. If you look in the very beginning of that video, we actually do it in a controlled environment, and the times are extremely fast. I will tell you that
a different one won in that test.
Yeah, it's not the same winner as the second test, believe it or not. And it goes to show that some of those proprietary components for some of these jet-powered stoves, they really lean on those things to do things rapidly. It does not boil water as fast without that fancy cup. So something to think about.
Another test we thought that there were so many like variables we could have tried to test, but given the
Yeah.
time and the conditions, was also how long will one just burn gas for? How much burn time do you get?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Given
big
each
one.
of the different mediums, so many variables. There was, I know that one of them was the only one capable of holding something larger than like a kind of a big cup. So there's so many different. For every advantage, for every pro there's a con,
Right.
and so
Yeah, ton of it. Ton of it.
none of them particularly shown to me as the best, because they were all, though the same, all they were doing is burning and making water boil.
Yeah.
The way that they got there and how they did it was all very different in all of them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is why I say prepping is very personal.
Sure.
All these things,
Big time. Big
at
time.
the end of the day, all these things did the same thing.
Well, I think
But it was how we got
I think a big thing for folks to consider is that your access to these fuel sources, right?
Also,
Longevity. That wood stove is going to be working long after the grid fails, and you can't get propane, you can't get isobutane, you can't get any butane. What are you going to do then? Then you have to cook over fire.
for me, the one that ended up actually in the outside test pulling ahead for me was the true winner because it had a renewable fuel source. It worked with nature.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, when everyone's isobutane is gone, when everybody's proprietary jet boil fuel is burnt out, we're all going to turn back to coal, wood, and anything else that'll burn.
Yeah, natural stuff. Jay Creature says, Mike, you said a falsehood in the stove video. You said no need for a lighter. Those piezo lighter spark igniters always go bad, not uncommon. Yet you are not wrong. Although I was trying to bring up the point that those have a built-in igniter on them. Whereas the Coleman one actually didn't, which I thought was weird. I figured that would be like just an extra click and it would.
That thing is ultra simple.
Yeah.
That thing, where that thing kind of shines is there's like two parts of that thing tack welded together, and that's that. A valve that hooks directly to the fuel source and a diffuser.
Yeah. I mean, they make so many great stoves. You can get something very similar to that Coleman burner for your little isobutane. And they just fold up and
they're
fit
all
in
the
your,
same with a
your
different
pocket,
name
man. They fit in your pocket. There's some fantastic ones. I know Jay Creature has a video of him using his new MSR stove where it uses the white gas. Those things are great too. Shannon Barrett, good evening. Welcome.
The Esbit stoves are good too. I've used one of those.
With the little trioxane tablets in there, man.
What works for those?
Awesome.
What works best with an Esbit stove if you're trying to boil water is to use an aluminum cup. I found.
Okay.
Maybe it's density or whatever. It seems to just transfer the heat better and go faster. But again,
Fantastic.
you're in 90. You're within the 90-second bracket with an Esbit stove, proper fuel,
Right.
in good condition.
Yeah, those little things where they click and they kind of lock into place.
Man, just a silly little thing.
Yeah, but you gotta just make sure when you use one of those things, it's super duper sturdy because you're gonna put a cup of water on top of it.
So again, one of our stoves in the video shone. Is the word? The past tense of shine. Not shined.
No, it's shown.
In this regard, it was super stable, provided you could find a level place to put it.
Absolutely.
You could drop a 1 gallon pot on this thing you wanted to.
For sure.
In the end, of course, we all know if you saw the video, and even if you didn't at this point, that what you need is a windbreak.
Absolutely.
It's a law.
Gotta have one.
That's why we built things like fire pits and hearths and chimneys, and the combustion chamber is never exposed
to the outside elements
in any regard.
No. I mean, you need to, especially if you are in a true SHTF environment. You got to protect that source that you're cooking on. Your gas is only going to last so long. You're only going to have so many boils off of these things. So if you have a good windscreen, if you can protect your fire and your gas canisters and things like that, they're going to last you a little bit longer before you have to transition to something that burns wood and just the old pot over the fire.
Right. But I guess if you're sticking around somewhere, you're hoping to extend your stay. That Using the backpacking stove, we'll call them
Minimally.
in the interim.
Yeah.
Before you're building,
before you get to where you're going.
or you're building your way toward like a bigger, better, cook station. But whatever. At the end of the day, the important thing to remember is that anything that relies on some sort of pre-bottled, processed, like provided to you by industry fuel, you will run out of it.
Eventually, absolutely.
Or you need to make significant space for it.
Yeah, I mean, you can only store so much.
Before you became, all these, they're all
it just becomes straight up
explosive.
dangerous. It comes straight up dangerous. So store what you can. These things, and it's important to keep in mind that these things are great for the now, but for the after, that's where you're really going to want things that you can put over a campfire that are super durable. You're going to want cast iron, especially if you're staying in one place. If your plan is to stay in one place and you're not getting moved by clouds of nuclear fallout, then you're going to be all right there with some cast iron cookware and a good cooking fire outside.
Now, Eric says use stoves only if you can't use open fire, which I would actually, Eric, I love you, but I would say the opposite.
Yeah, you think use the stoves now?
Well, because an open fire, and perhaps multiple of them, everybody's going to start like some Revolutionary War, Civil War thing. Everybody's going to start hitting up their cooking fires.
Oh yeah.
You got 20.
It's a lot of smoke.
A lot of smoke, a lot of cooking food.
Yeah.
You're gonna, and the smell alone, the sight of it. There's no light discipline.
Well,
you can't
definitely
control that.
draw a lot of people.
It depends on your situation. So I suppose that statement can go vice versa and both be relevant. Let's go with that.
Right. I lean towards the.
Depends on how safe you feel.
The little wood stove, but again, that thing gives off a big signature. You can see the smoke from a long ways away. You can smell the smoke from a long ways away. And if you're cooking anything on there and people are hungry, they're going to smell it from miles away. Vision preparedness. Good to see you, brother. Sorry we jumped a little early tonight. We didn't mean to step on your toes, my friend. I apologize.
I did.
He's a dick. Dakota Firehole, says Mr. Zero. Yes, but they still give off that smoke signature. And again, those food cooking smells is going to be something it's really hard to get around.
Because it's underground and it's most likely moist, it's going to smoke a lot.
Yeah.
It's going to stink. It's going to have that sour, burning earth smell.
Yeah, unless you live in the clay areas where you got no roots or anything in there, you got a good chance to make a good one over there. But here with all the roots in the organic soil, it's definitely...
It would really depend on just how safe you really felt, how many of you there were, how long you're going to stick around. You need some quick food in you. You're going to drop some peak refuel in your stomach real quick. In 90 seconds, you can have that ready to rock and roll.
With the gas stove, absolutely.
You're going to stick, here, this will defend. You're going to stick around here for a week. Start building an actual fire pit and get stuff done. It's all very personal, bro.
Yeah, I agree. Smoke and swamp, and everybody says cast iron. Gotta have it.
Carry it.
Gotta have it.
Carry it.
It's heavy.
Yeah, carry it.
It's heavy. I
love me some cast iron.
But I don't want to carry it. That's why it's good for where you're at.
So I was in a Boy Scout troop when I was younger.
Okay.
So there was your personal, essentials you were supposed to have, your knife and flashlight and stuff, And there was I think we called it troop level stuff. It was in big like crates with wooden handles.
Right, and everybody would share the carry the load.
That was the cookware, the big dining fly, the thing. Like that was the stuff that was for everybody. I think military circles they call this organizational gear.
Okay.
It's not yours, it's everyone's.
Yeah.
If you're the type that thinks you're going to attract like more people and stuff, then you'll want to lean toward having this kind of gear. That's where cast iron comes in. It's heavy. Yeah. It needs to be transported essentially by like animal or vehicle. Unless you got a nice like light one that you really like, you're going to stick that in your pack and you're down with carrying. But when ounces count, cast iron weighs pounds. And so...
GMA Merkel says, I carry it camping all the time. So I guess it
Carry
depends.
it.
It depends upon whether if you're car camping. That's fabulous. You know, you can.
It's what I'm calling organizational gear. Like that's part of your base camp kit. Get it?
Sure, sure.
As opposed to like actually going in your pack. I'm just totally.
Yeah, I don't. If I put a cast iron Dutch oven on the bottom of my Mystery Ranch backpack, Livingston, man,
Jeez,
I am
just
not
get a
going to
mule.
make it up the freaking hill. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna die like third of the way, bro. It's over. Not gonna happen.
Hunter's awful saucy tonight. I suppose he must be dabbling. He's dabbling in the performance enhancers.
Nah, it's all the testosterone he's making lifting weights, bro.
Gets to
Killing it.
Gets to gym 128 days later. The Macho Man Randy, freaking 125 over here.
He is a great person, a fabulous moderator, and a wonderful neighbor to have.
I wouldn't say that about him if he wasn't.
Single egg size cast iron is okay. Eric, I agree with that. Something tiny.
Fits in your bucket, yeah.
So what I'm actually looking to get into, Livingston, man, is I do most of my backpack cooking, either boil water, make the freeze dried food, right? That's the big thing I've been doing lately. The freeze dried food, but I want to get into that backpack camp cooking, bro. I'm gonna pack that cast iron skillet, and I want to bring a little grill and grill things over the fire. I will show you on me where you hurt me.
It took me a second. I was reading.
But yeah, I definitely want to do that.
Jay Creature, I want you to do me a favor. As Google Mormon.
Interesting.
Mormon soaking. Just Google that real quick. Go ahead. Yeah. Do it. You don't know about the Mormon soaking? It's a true prepper secret.
Prepared Irishman. That's what I'm looking for, bro. I'm looking for big chap. Yeah, kind of like a mess kit, but maybe something a little bigger. And I definitely want some sort
camp
of
level. You can cook for
well, just for a handful of people, a small camp. You know,
this is what I mean by a patrol setup, almost like.
Yeah, but I'm not talking like a big cast iron griddle and all this other stuff. I just want
stainless steel pot,
a little foldable grill I can shove in my bag and like
foldable grill.
Yeah. I've seen them. I've seen them on the old Jeff Bezos, spend your money site. I've seen them there.
Would you buy one then?
Mr. Zero says go with Vienna sausages and some great value spam for backpacking. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna have to try. I tried to eat a Vienna sausage 100 years ago.
A chuck wagon. I'm saying, I do kind of want a chuck wagon, but I don't want to have to carry it on my back. I get one of them little cool spice kits.
Like I said, vehicle or animal, you gotta get that.
I'm saying, Virginia Bushcrafter, I want to. The militant farmer inspired me to do more campfire cooking.
Well, because here's a rabbit hole for you. You have all this. Cooking camp gear, which is awesome. You can buy a kit straight up off Cabela's or anything, even remotely like that, with the kitchen and all that shit. But you got to have food to use it. And, you got to tote that around too and stuff. You end up with this wagon train of freaking supplies with you.
Ooh, Jay Creature says, who is more of a food threat, the bear or the mouse?
The mice, I would say.
Yeah. Well, they can poison the food that they leave behind.
That's right, and they won't stop, and then they'll go back and they'll get their friends, and they come back too.
Yeah.
We went to the Adirondacks this one time. We were camping, and these red squirrels were coming around, begging for food and whatever.
Oh,
it was one thing. Then we looked over and we caught them there chewing into our freaking totes and coolers and making them they were had no manners. So we popped out these little Crossman BB
and had the boiled squirrel, Eric. Boiled squirrel.
We popped out the BB guns and we got one. My man actually hit one with a slingshot. We had hunting licenses, small game included. All right,
it's all legal.
It was, and so he smacked this one. And so what we did is we were sitting in camp that day. We were hunting bears.
Okay.
We were up there for 7 days, and each day someone or two had off. We were chilling in camp.
Yeah. Let the other guys go out.
So me and homie are chilling in camp. And you get that whack, smack the squirrel. Got a couple of them, bastards trying to eat my food.
Get them.
So
Got them.
everybody else is out hunting bears all day, and they come back to camp, and what they encounter is this like altar of like dead squirrels, and we had them like posed, and like the one had like a rope like slung about him, and he was like hanging there with this sign around his neck that said I stole food. And like everybody come back like looking at us funny, like we didn't save all the food, you know.
Big Chap says he's got a blow dart gun sighted in laser red dot for small game. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Those things are they're pretty nasty, especially if you get a decent length blow dart gun. Those things tear some stuff up.
Story. Another funny story that you may or may not believe, and I don't care if you do or not. Is this one time this drunken asshole at a party one time shot me like 3 times in the fucking knee with a fucking blowgun.
Ooh.
I was passed out on the couch minding my own business at like 2 a.m. Like, I didn't even know what happened. And when I woke up was when my other buddy yanked all 3 of them out.
Oh man.
And yeah.
Good golly.
Sucked. I don't know what they were thinking, but yeah.
Big Chap says I know how to remake the darts as well, so no need for ammo. That's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. Sister Marie's Kitchen, I could not agree more. Camping, you can spoil yourself, but SHTF, you want to watch the weight of the bag. Absolutely.
It's like 2 different lifestyles. Camping is like
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Glamping.
And that's something I'd like to do this upcoming year, Livingston Man, is very minimalist.
I do that all the time. I want to go to some pristine, beautiful place that got a bathroom down the street and go kick it beside the big giant lake.
Ghost Lincoln, good to see you,
bro. In
bro.
the lean-to that somebody else built. I'm tired of toting my own shit around. Had enough.
Well, I wasn't thinking cutting weight that way, but yeah.
Me and Jackson got to go in on some Sherpas. I'm about too old for this shit.
Yeah. The donkey, a couple
There's an
mules.
influx of foreign labor. So I mean,
Catskill Prepper, have a great night, sister. And we're just about to wrap it up here ourselves this evening.
1 minute.
Yeah. Do us a favor, guys. Smash that like button. We really appreciate it. If you're new here, if you're considering subscribing, or if you're subscribed, leave me a comment somewhere on a video. Especially if you're a new subscriber, leave me a comment in a video that says new subscriber and the date that you subscribed. YouTube's been giving us the shaft lately, along with all of the other content creators.
I really appreciate when you guys
really,
share
really
the link to this video to your other forms of social media.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if that outs you for who you really are, but isn't it about time you made amends with it? Likes and comments and subscriptions.
Yeah, huge,
I love
man.
you,
It's
but like
huge.
put us like by sharing, what you can do is share us with other people, and this is how you find out who of your so-called friends and acquaintances might be into the same things you are. Please
Absolutely.
share our video, put it out there to somebody else. I would really appreciate it if you did that. Likes and push all the buttons, okay? All the money button's right up there, okay? Let's not forget the money button.
Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. Smash the like button. Do the things that the Livingston Man said. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys have a great night. Happy Valentine's Day. Stay safe out there, folks. Hudson Valley Prepping Survival. Out of here!
Since we're not on tomorrow, I'll let you hear it tonight.